Hi folks, this is Karim Raouf for IT Visualizer channel. We will continue our lab, the Terminator Labs, the video number 51. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have been working now for 29 videos on how to deploy different operating system images and systems itself using Microsoft Deployment Toolkit and Windows Deployment Services server role features. So we have discussed a lot, or we were working a lot concerning this topic. We have discussed a lot of things, how we can use these two tools to deploy different operating systems in different ways. For example, you can deploy it using zero touch installation process or light touch installation process or user driven installation process. We have discussed the three and what are the differences between them. So also we have discussed in this topic how we can add some additions to the Microsoft Deployment Toolkit which will enhance its performance, something or an addition called PSD or PowerShell Deployment Module. This will enhance the performance of the Microsoft Deployment Toolkit. You will be able to use the Microsoft Deployment Toolkit on the cloud, on Azure or on AWS, and uh, this module will help you to use Microsoft Deployment Toolkit using HTTP and HTTPS protocol. So this is basically you can turn, or the MDT will be able to be used as a web server. So you can install the MDT on a server, and this will act as a web server. So this basically, we are saying that you can access this MDT server from any place in the world. It will act like a web server, or it will act like a website. So this will help you to deploy different operating system from the internet or from the cloud. This will ease the process of the deployment. We have discussed how we can install this module, how we can get the most out of it, what is the interface, because when you install this module on the MDT, the interface of the MDT will be changed. There will be some changes in the graphical interface. There will be some enhanced or performance enhancement in the MDT tool. So we have discussed all of these things during the 29 videos or the previous 29 videos. Today we will discuss another kind of deployment. Maybe it is not through using the MDT or the WDS, but through using a part of or some tools of Microsoft, especially the tool which is called ADK, or Assessment Deployment Kit. This tool we have used to work with the MDT. So the MDT will not work unless you install the ADK. So we will use this tool to work with another kind of deployment, which is called OSD cloud deployment, or let's say deployment through the cloud. Here, this term, the cloud, it's not related to something like Azure or AWS. Here we are referring to the internet. So what we will talk about today, we will talk how we can deploy different operating systems without having a WDS or an MDT. How this can be done? This simply, you need only to have the ADK or the Assessment Deployment Kit installed on a PC and a PowerShell module called OSD. So these two tools, when they are combined together, we will have a DVD or a USB that is a Windows pre-installation environment or pre-install environment. This is, we will have a boot image, okay, or a Windows boot image that contains some scripts. When you insert it in a PC on a virtual machine, it will access the internet. For sure, you have to have an internet access. So this bootable Windows image combined with some script or the SD module will access the internet, and then it will get the operating system you desire from Microsoft, and then with the help of some scripts it will format the hard disk, it will partition the hard disk, and then it will install and download the operating system live. So this is in short what the OSD cloud will do. So it's a tool that you can use to deploy different operating systems even if you don't have WDS or MDT, or even if you don't have the ISO image of the operating system. It will download it for you, and it will install it for you, and it will do a lot of things. So let's see what is this solution. It is basically uh, some PowerShell scripts, and as I said before, it will be combined with the Windows pre-installation environment. So let's see what is this solution. This solution is called OSD Cloud. This is the website. If you can see the description of it, OSD Cloud is a solution for deploying Windows 10 and 11. Actually, it's only for Windows 10 and Windows 11, not for Windows Server, over the internet using PowerShell or SD PowerShell module. Okay, so it's a PowerShell module. This works by booting into Windows pre-install environment where the OSD disk is wiped and partitioned. OSD disk is referring to the operating system disk. Okay, once this is complete, the Windows operating system downloaded from Microsoft Update. Okay, so it will go to the Microsoft website and download the operating system you desire using a protocol called CURL. This is a protocol that helps you to download different files from different servers. Okay, you can use the AI or the Google Brad AI to query what is the CURL. Okay, before finally being staged, expanded on the ODisk. So it will download the operating system, and then it will expand it and then install it. Driver package from Dell, Lenovo, and HP are downloaded directly from each of the manufacturers where they are installed in the PE or in the Windows specialized phase. So also one of the OSD module advantages, it will download driver packages directly from the manufacturers like Dell, Lenovo, and HP. So you don't need to install the drivers after installing the operating system. Okay, so this is another feature or another advance or advantages. Okay, for computers that do not have a driver pack, hardware drivers are downloaded directly from the Microsoft Update Catalog or Microsoft Catalog Update. Okay, so this should work on just about any computer model out there. Full instructions are on the website, and we will see how we can do this solution. We have two ways. We have a long way and a quick setup way. So what about the long way? Basically, here it is. It says that you need to have admin rights because you will be mounting a WIM file, uh, or you need to mount a DVD. He is talking about that. You are going to download a lot of things from the internet. You need to have open internet. So you need to have a PC that have internet access, and you need to have admin rights. Okay, so there is no proxy or a firewall in OSD Cloud yet, but it is planned. Okay, then so you have admin rights, you have to have a PC that have the internet, and you are a local administrator or administrator on this machine. You need to have open internet. You need to install the PowerShell module. We will install this PowerShell module. Okay, and then after that you need to install the ADK. Okay, so this is we have what we have said before. This ADK will help us to create a Windows pre-installation environment CD. Okay, so you say the first decision you need to make is whether or not you want wireless to work in the WinPE. So if you are installing or this operating system on a virtual machine that is acting as a laptop, or this the guest is the host is a laptop, then you need to download the drivers for your Wi-Fi card. Okay, so then you must create OSD Cloud template on Windows as you will be using Windows 10 WinRE. Okay, I think what is Windows anyway. So here we need to install the ADK. So you need to download the ADK, and then basically after downloading the ADK you need to we have already downloaded the PowerShell or SD PowerShell module. Here we see this was in the before step to install and then to import it in a PowerShell window. Then we need first to set execution policy because we need to install the module, okay, in a PowerShell window. So we need to set the execution policy of the script to be to be bypassed or to be remote signed. Okay, the final step, you need to make sure your execution policy is set properly to install the OSD PowerShell module if you don't have it already. Okay, so we will install the PowerShell module, and then we will continue the steps after that. So after installing the PowerShell or SD PowerShell module, you need first to install or to make something called template. This template is a couple of scripts that will help you to deploy the operating system. Now you have your machine complete. The next thing is to create OSD Cloud template. This is a template that we use to create multiple OSD Cloud workspaces. We will know what is a workspace after that, but the cloud template is a couple of scripts that will be used to deploy the operating system. So after that, we need to run this command, new OSD cloud template. This is basically what we will do, and the default templates will be saved to here. So the default OSD template will be saved to C program data OSD cloud. Okay, you can create it by using this line. So after installing the OSD module, we need to create the template, and after creating the template, we need to create the workspace. What is the workspace? What is the folder that will contain these templates? By default, it is this folder, but we can move it to another folder. Okay, and this is what we intend to do. We need to create a workspace. This is basically by telling, or a workspace, it is telling the PowerShell to move these templates from this default location to another location, and to put the final output in this workspace or in this folder. So let's see after that what we need to do. So after that, we will begin the process of the after making the template, we will make the workspace. Okay, and then after making the workspace, it will create for us a DVD. This we will insert it in the virtual machine and then boot with it. Anyway, I will not go in the local setup or the long way. I will get to the short way. So the short way, all we need to do is to have the ADK installed. This is the thing we need to have. We need only to install the ADK, and then with the quick setup, we will finish all of the OSD Cloud process in 10 minutes. So again, we need to install the ADK, and then we will begin our quick setup process. Okay, so we have installed the ADK. We need to go and then begin working with these lines. Okay, the first line is to install the OSD module. Okay, this will help us to make the process of the deployment, and then import the module in a PowerShell window, and then create the OSD template, the group of scripts, and then create the workspace or the folder that will contains all of the templates and the final output. The final output from this script or from these lines, it will create a DVD that contains some scripts and a Windows pre-installation environment that when we insert it in a PC, it will boot. Don't worry, we will see that live. So we will create a workspace, okay, and then the end we need to create, or this line we tell him to create a Windows bootable CD and insert in it all of the drivers for the different manufacturers, and then at the end, okay, it will put this Windows pre-installation environment in this workspace. Okay, and after finishing this line, so this line will create the Windows PE or the DVD, and at the end this line will make this DVD or create the DVD. So basically we will create the workspace, it will copy the templates to this workspace, and then this line it will insert in the Windows pre-installation environment all of the drivers for the different manufacturers, okay, like Dell and so on, so on, so, and at the end it will create the Windows PE ISO image. It will be in this location or in the workspace. So this is basically what we need to do. The quick setup is very, very simple. All you need to do is to create or to install the ADK and then begin processing all of these lines. Okay, so just a minute, guys. So this is basically what we will do. And after we take this ISO image and put it in the machine that we need to deploy operating system on it, we will see this is the interface, and we will see some options to choose the operating system we need. Okay, we need to install Windows 10 or Windows 11 Enterprise or Pro. So all of this, you have the option to choose it, and a lot of things you can choose. You can make autopilot if you are using Azure autopilot option. Okay, a lot of things can be done. So this is basically the quick setup, and this is the thing that we will use. We will not use the long process, we will use the quick setup process. So again, this is basically the OSD cloud. It's a couple of scripts inserted in a Windows pre-installation environment or a Windows PE bootable image. When it is inserted in the virtual machine, it will go to the Microsoft website, let you choose one of the operating systems to install, and then it will install and download, or before it will download the operating system and then install it. So let's see how this will be done through a video. Okay, or let's see how this can be done practically. So let's go and see, and this will save us a lot of time actually, because if you don't have a WDS or MDT, this will help you a lot. Okay, so let's see how this will be done. If you go there and begin our video, so basically here I'm working on a PC that have some problems with its keyboard. I have uh, some buttons are not working, so I will use the on-screen keyboard to help me to bypass this problem. So first we will go to the website, and then we will see the different URLs that I was discussing from a couple of minutes. The quick setup URL, the local setup URL, and the OSD Cloud About section. So this is basically what we have discussed in a couple of seconds. Okay, this is the OSD Cloud. And by the way, guys, need to make a small note here. Okay, these lines, okay, these lines, you need to make sure that you don't have dot. Okay, all of these commands you need to remove the dot, because this is not the command, this is an old command. When I try it, it gives me an error. You need to remove the dot and make it all one word: OSD Cloud template without the dot, OSD Cloud without workspace without the dot, and the same for WinPE and the same for ISO. And we will see that in the video. Okay, so don't worry. Because this is the local setup. And if you need to install the Dart tools in the Windows PE, this can be done. So this is the long way. As for the short way, we need only to install the ADK and then begin processing some PowerShell lines or PowerShell commands. Here you can get the quick setup by making the search and get the quick setup. Okay, so we'll copy all of these and put it in a script. So I have already done this. I will make this is the script, OSD Cloud. I have already done this. Okay, I have created a PowerShell script with all of the lines in the website or the URL. We will right click and edit, and we'll begin implementing the lines one by one. I have already the ADK installed on this machine, so we will not go to the process of installation of the ADK, which is forward and simple. So we will go directly and begin working with the script. So the only thing was missing in my script is to set the execution policy to remote signed, because if you try to implement any script in the PowerShell for the first time, it will be blocked. You need to allow PowerShell scripts to be implemented or to be applied. So we need to run this line before. Okay, paste. So you need to put it there. Then we will begin implementing our solution. So after implementing these lines, we will have a DVD or an ISO image that will be used for the deployment. Now we will begin implementing line by line. This will install the OSD module, which is the cornerstone for this process. Okay, this is basically a very simple process. It will not take more than 10 minutes. After that, you will have a DVD that will help you to deploy different operating systems, okay, especially Windows 10 and Windows 11. Anyway, one thing here I missed is to make the template. So after installing the module and importing it, you need to create the cloud template, or the templates, the group of scripts that will be used for the deployment. This line should be after import to the module, so I forgot to do that. So here now it is installing the pack. Then we need to import these PowerShell modules. So if you try create the workspace before creating the templates, it will not work. You need to create the templates and then create the workspace. Okay. So the installation is complete. We need to import the module. So we have already installed the module. We need to import the module. Okay. And then after that, we need to create the template, not the workspace. So if you try to create the workspace, it will fail because there is no templates. Okay. So now, if you do this, it will say unable to find the template. So you need to create the template. Okay, so this is basically there is a line missing here. There is one line missing. If we go to the website, we will see that we have missed the command for creating the template. So if you go there to the quick setup, again, if we click on quick setup, okay, we have one line missing, which is OSD cloud template. Remember to remove the dot because this command is written in this syntax. Okay, it's not, there is no dot in the syntax. If you try to add the line, okay, and add it, paste. If I try to implement it, it will say that I don't have such line, or such command is not there. Okay, if we try to implement this one, okay, it will say there is not recognized as a commandlet. You need to remove the dot. If you need to make sure that this command is there, first we need to import the module. It is already imported, so we don't need to do that anymore. We can, as we see here, when I try to remove the dot and implement it, it will work. Okay, so now it's beginning creating the templates, and it will be in the C program data folder named OSD Cloud. So all of the templates will be in C program data, and then we will move it from this location to the new workspace or the new folder which is called OSD Cloud 2. We will do that in a moment. So as we see here, it will begin creating the boot image, okay, or the WinPE boot image. Okay, it will mount uh, or to go to assessment deployment toolkit and then begin mounting the boot image or the default boot image, and it will edit it, and then we will see the result in a new Windows PE ISO image. So it will take some time. This will take some time actually if you go there. Okay, so we will see a lot of processes done, but at the end the templates are created. So if we go there, okay, we will continue. So now our templates are created. Okay, let's continue. Okay, we can continue further. Okay. Okay, all of the things are created. So here we can see that our template is created already. Okay, it is created in 13 minutes and 8 seconds. It's in this default location. We will copy all of these templates. We'll move it to the new location after implementing the second line. Okay, so we need to work with the next line to copy these templates, okay, from this location to this location. This will be the default, or this will be the location that we will work from. All of the output will be in this location. Before that it was in C program data OSD cloud. Our new default location will be FOSD cloud 2. This will be our default location, new default location. So let's continue again. Okay, just wait for a moment. Okay, so here now we are implementing, or we have executed the line. Here it will begin, okay, copying all of the content of this folder to this new folder. By the way, you don't need to create the folder, okay, it will create the folder for you, so you don't need to create the folder before executing this script, okay, or this line. It will create it for you. Okay, so we will create the folder, and then it will begin copying the templates from this location to this new location. So this is the second step, or the step. Now we can see here that the current location, okay, it's not in this one, it is in D. Okay, set location, it will be in the F. Okay, will be FOSD cloud. Okay, this will be the default new location. Okay, then we need to edit. So now we have a Windows pre-installation environment ISO image, or a bootable Windows PE image. It is there already in this location. We need to edit it and insert or inject in it the drivers for the different or the famous manufacturers. Okay, and after injecting these drivers, we need to save the whole or to save the whole change and export it to an ISO image, or to a new Windows PE ISO image. So let's wait and see. We need to do that, or we need to execute the next line. We will see it will go to the internet and download all of the driver packages for the different manufacturers. If we go and try to execute this line, okay, so now we will execute. It will edit the Windows PE ISO image. It is already there. It was created in the cloud template step. Okay, so now it will begin mounting. okay, the boot image, and it will begin injecting the drivers in it. But before injecting the drivers, it will download the drivers. So it will continue. If you can see here, now it will begin downloading the Dell WinPE driver package, HP WinPE driver package, Ethernet from Intel, the Ethernet driver package. It will actually download a couple or a lot of uh, drivers. Okay, so we can continue. Now it is downloading all of the drivers, VMware drivers, okay, wireless drivers if you are working with the laptop. So all of these drivers will be injected to the Windows PE image. Okay, so now we can see all of these. Okay, you can continue. Okay, and at the end we will run the last line to save all of the changes done to the bootable image and export it to a new Windows PE ISO image. So we can continue like that. Okay, okay, so here it will create the ISO image. So at the end we don't need to run this actually, because it is now saving all of the changes and exporting it to a new ISO image or a new Windows PE image. We don't need to run the last one, but if you need to double check this, this is your choice. Okay, so now we have created the ISO image. This we will use and insert it in the virtual machine that we will use to uh, boot or to deploy the operating system on it. So this is basically the last thing. Okay, now we can run this line if you need to double check. Now it will create the ISO images. Okay, we will have one that is the normal one and the one no prompt one. Not prompt one, you will not be prompted to press any key to boot from the video. It will boot automatically for you. So this is the basic things. They are the same, but no prompt. It will not prompt you to press any key to boot from the DVD. Okay, so this is basically the script. Let me show you another thing here, or the video. We will need to go to the deployment process, or I will show you a deployment process. But before that, I need to show you something here. If we go to the F, okay, and go to the OSD Cloud 2, here are the two ISO images. We need to copy them and insert them to the virtual machine, or to burn them on a DVD or on a USB. Okay, so this is basically what these two ISO images will do. So we have all of the scripts, everything are in one ISO image that will help us to deploy the operating system. Let's see the operating system or the deployment process itself. So we will go now and create a virtual machine on, let me show you all, we will create it on the virtual box. Let me go and see, or let me show you all, not this one. We will go to the virtual box and begin creating the virtual machine. So now we will go and create a virtual machine. Here I am choosing the folder to save the virtual machine to. You need to have your virtual machine at least to have 4 GB of RAM, because the OSD cloud needs at least 6 GB. Anyway, I work with 4 because this is basically, it worked perfectly with me. And actually, if you need to install a Windows 10 operating system 64 bits, you need to have at least 4 GB of RAM for the operating system. So anyway, here I'm creating a folder, and here we will save the virtual machine to it. And now we will name it Windows 10 OSD Cloud. Okay, and then we can go and mount the OSD Cloud ISO image. Okay, the one that we have seen in the previous uh, clip. Okay, we will go to SD Cloud and then we'll insert the SD Cloud ISO image, and then we need to do a couple of configuration. We need to have the firmware of the BIOS to be UEFI. Okay, and we need to increase the RAM a little bit, and the hard disk will be 300 GB. Okay, And let's see how the process will be. First, we have already inserted the ISO image. So if you go there and do some changes, we need to make sure that the network, it is in the NAT section, or it is the NAT configuration, because this will get us to the internet, or bridge it. At least you need to have NAT or bridges. Here we can increase it to 4. This will be a better choice. And we can enable network, but this will not be the case. We don't need network. Enable secure boot. The display, we have everything. We don't need to make it 18 gigabyte, 10 megabyte. You can leave it as 128. And we need also not to change the graphical controller. Leave everything as is. This is my problem, because when I change the display setting, the machine didn't work as I intended. So let's go and continue with the configuration. We need to make it as NAT. You need to make sure to be NAT or bridged to get access to the internet. And then we can begin the process of the deployment. Okay, now we need to power on the machine and then see what will be the displayed content. We will see that it will not differ much about it will be not different than a normal installation process, but some changes are there. So let's wait and see what will be the output. So here we need to press enter. So this is the normal one, not the no prompt one. So it will take some time, and we will see that it is basically depending upon some PowerShell scripts and accessing the internet and downloading the operating system. We will see that there is some PowerShell windows are opened. Some of them will display the IP address of the machine. Some of them will say if you have some devices on this machine that needs some driver or some driver packages. We will see that in a moment. So it's a normal deployment. Here we can see this is the first thing. We will have the CMD, or this window will begin starting the OSD module, and it will update it. If there is any update or any PowerShell, this module is updated, we need to download it from the internet, the updated version. So we will see that in a moment. And by the way, all of this process is user-driven installation. We will see in the upcoming video how we can make it a light touch installation. Okay, the website says that it is zero touch installation, but actually it is a light touch installation. We will see how we can configure some steps to be automatically and leave some steps for the user. Anyway, it is updating the OSD PowerShell module, and after that we will see that a couple of PowerShell windows are opened. We will see what does it contain. It will contain some very useful data. We can use it and we can use it and see, for example, the configuration, the hardware configuration of the machine. If there is any problems with the machine, we will see that in a moment. So this will take some time. So now we can see that it has already downloaded the update for the SD PowerShell module, and then it will begin displaying some data about the machine. The name of the machine, it is a virtual box. The processor, it's saying that you need to have at least 6 bytes of RAM to function without issues. The hard disk, okay, the network card, the MAC address, then TPM and autopilot are not supported, so you don't have TPM, so it is not supported. Then it will begin the graphical interface. You will see a graphical interface that will help you to choose the operating system and some other data. So we'll see that in a moment. In the background, okay, before the graphical interface appears, we will see a couple of windows in the background, PowerShell windows. If we go and see, we need to minimize this currently command prompt window, we will see that we have three other PowerShell windows in the background. So let's go further. Here we see, when we minimize it, we have three PowerShell windows. If we open one of them, let's go further and see. This is the PowerShell window that will have the graphical interface appearing in it. The other one is this one. This is a PowerShell window that displays the network setting. We can see here, just to make sure that you have internet access. So this is basically the output, or this is the test to make sure that your machine is accessing the internet. Okay, so this is basically one of the prerequisites for the deployment to get done successfully. And this PowerShell window is making sure that your machine has internet access. Here we have error hardware that requires drivers to function properly. You need to have drivers installed for these devices so your virtual machine will act properly. This will be downloaded from the Microsoft website. Okay, so we can see this is basically the script is running some tests to make sure that your virtual machine is running properly. And then here is the graphical interface. You need to choose the operating system and then some data, if it is enterprise or retail, the language, if it is sorry, this is the enterprise or pro or whatsoever. And the volume here is the if it's a volume license or a retail. Okay, and then the driver packages, if it will download driver packages from the Microsoft website or other websites like Dell or HP and so on. So let's wait and see or discover different options. Okay, here we can see that TBM is not supported. Okay, so this is basically, we know this. So now we can go and choose the operating system. We need to make it as Windows 10, 22H2 64-bit. We'll make it as enterprise, and then you can choose the drivers where it will be downloaded or from where it will be downloaded. Okay, as here we can see, you can tell him to update system firmware, update network card drivers, update SCSI adapter drivers for the hardware or the SCSI drivers and the disk drivers. And then as for the deployment, we will tell him to put some screenshots. Okay, it will be saved for troubleshooting later if you need. Clear disk, confirm prompt, restart computer after Windows PE. So after finishing, it will restart the computer. So let's see. Now we'll start the installation. Now we will see that here is the process. It will be displayed here. Now we will begin the process. It will go to the website of Microsoft and download the operating system and begin the installation. It download it live. Okay, but before that, it will ask you to wipe the hard disk or to partition and format the hard disk. So let's wait for a couple of seconds and see what here it's validating the disk. Then it will ask you to wipe or to format and partition the hard disk. It will be as one partition. It will wipe the hard disk and make it as one partition. So we need to confirm that by pressing Y and press enter. It is cleaning the disk and formatting it, new OS disk or new operating system disk. So this is basically formatting it. Then it is setting, because this is a laptop, it is setting the power plan to high performance, so we will have the best performance out of the laptop. Okay, and then we will see it is downloading the operating system. It will take, for me it took about 20 minutes because I have a little bit less speed in my internet, but it took about 20 minutes. So we can bypass this real quickly. So again, let's go and see what is going on. Okay, still we have 59%, we have 79%, and 80%. We have only 4 minutes left, 95%. And after downloading the operating system, it will expand this operating system and install it. Okay, so it will take, we have 44 seconds left. So we have 36, 35, 34. Here is, this is the total. It is 3 gigabytes and 700 megabytes. The DVD space, or DVD size. So we have 100, and then after that it will begin expanding this ISO image and install it on the C partition, and after that it will begin downloading the drivers for the different devices on this virtual machine. Okay, so we'll validate. Okay, now it is validated. Now we can see this ISO image contains a lot of operating systems. We have chosen the enterprise, which is indexed as 6, so every operating system will have a number. So this is the enterprise one, it is 6. You can change the index in the graphical interface. Okay, if you know the number, you can tell him, for example, I need 7 or 8 or 9. You can tell him to choose one of these operating systems based on the image index. So now it's expanding the Windows image. It will take some time. Okay, let's wait for a moment, guys. I need to do something here. So let's continue, guys. Here it will continue expanding the image. Okay, and then after expanding the image, let's go a little bit further here. So it have expanded the image. It will get the Windows edition, and then it will begin the process of downloading the drivers. Okay, so if we can go a little bit, so now it will begin OSD driver packages. It will update the drivers from the Microsoft update catalog drivers. Okay, here we can see it's downloading the audio device driver. Here I'm just revising what is the output, and then it will begin searching for the drivers or different drivers. Okay, downloading them. I think then it will be used by the Windows. Okay, so we can see it's downloading different drivers from the Microsoft update catalog, and at the end we will see a notification telling us that it will restart, or it will be restarted in 20 seconds. Okay, so this is for the Vega driver. Then adding the drivers, okay, for or in the Windows PE, and then this will take a couple or some minutes. So now we can see that after adding the drivers, driver package provisioning, I think this is related to the drivers, then set up registry for TPM. I don't know what is this step. Then exporting the logs. Okay, so the operation is at its end, and now it is exporting the different information or the logs, okay, and saving PowerShell modules and scripts. I don't know this step as well, but we can continue. Now it is finished and we restart. The process took about 45 minutes and 7 seconds. Now we need to restart, and after that we will have our operating system up and running. So we can just continue like that, and here we will begin the normal process of using, or now we will be facing the OOBE or out of the box experience. Will be asked to provide or create a username to access the Windows, choose the keyboard layout, choose the time zone, the privacy setting, all of the normal setup process for the Windows. So this is basically a very short and easy way to deploy operating systems without having any infrastructure. You need to have an internet access and some scripts to be used. So this is basically the process. The upcoming video will discuss how we can automate this process. So we need to make it more automated. We will see how this can be done using another script that will be inserted in the Windows PE DVD. Hope this video will form to you all, and see you all next video. Thank you so much.